Hello, everyone. Welcome to Aptera Owners Club. So the last part of the February update is pretty obviously a response to a video that we had called "How Much Transparency is Good for Aptera." This was about 2 weeks ago when I made this video, and we are just talking about how much transparency should Aptera give people, how much is good, what is useful for them and what is useful for us as their community and fans. And this was their answer to that. So I thought it was very well thought out, and let's listen to it.
I wanted to end this update responding to community discussions we've seen you taking part in about what level of transparency benefits Aptera and its shareholders. Transparency is a cornerstone of our values, and we consistently strive to adopt a transparency-first approach. Sharing our story and allowing all of you to join us on our path is what has allowed us to get to where we are today. Being a startup, we're tasked with staying nimble and constantly adjusting to rapidly changing market conditions. We must do this while also being as forthcoming and as accurate as possible.
So I think that's a super important point he makes. There's constant changes they have to deal with, and things are never they never go as planned in a startup world, and so they're constantly having to adjust and make changes.
It's a tight line to walk. For example, we can only make big announcements like our alliances with CT&S or CPC once they're completely finalized and agreements have been signed, even if they affect our path to production or vehicle design. So let's be perfectly clear about delivery timelines. As we mentioned, we've begun production intent builds, and these production intent builds will be used for validation and crash testing, ensuring safety and reliability for your trips powered by the sun. One of the key reasons we partnered with CPC is their incredible ability to stand up a production line in as little as 9 months after we've reached our funding goals. The start of production for...
So that is something we've heard for well over a year now, almost 2 years, I think, that production is 9 months from when they reach their funding goals. And so it seems pretty clear that the funding goals have not been met. And the accelerator program helped get a lot of the groundwork done, but it's not enough to set up the actual production line. So there was like tooling that they could get and help with the CPC things and the battery packs, but the actual assembly line is going to take even more money. And I know this is something that people are tired of hearing, but if you look at how much, again, if you look at how much money like Rivian, Lucid, Canoe that they've raised to try to get a production line, I mean, it was in the billions, and Aptera's in the hundreds of like a couple of 100 million at this point. So it's not surprising, although I think it is for many of us somewhat disappointing that the Accelerator program has not given them enough capital to set up the production line.
The reasons we partnered with CPC is their incredible ability to stand up a production line in as little as 9 months after we've reached our funding goals. The start of production for launch edition vehicles requires additional capital.
Okay, so there you have it. They need more capital to start production on the launch edition vehicles. I was kind of under the impression that, they could start slowly, with the low volume production line, make launch edition vehicles. But it seems like they're saying that they need more funding to make even the first launch edition vehicle. I'm gonna have to try to clarify that with them if I ever get the opportunity to sit down with them. But that's what it sounds like on this update.
And we plan to share delivery timeline details as soon as we can. Second, let's address vehicle design changes. We're doing everything we can to get our solar EV into production as quickly and safely as possible. Now, what this means for our reservation holders and investors is that you will see some changes up ahead.
Okay, so Steve is saying that there is going to be some vehicle design changes up ahead. And there was a lot of discussion on Discord about what those changes might be. And we didn't know what they might be. And Chris McCammon came by and said that it wouldn't be as drastic as some of the options that we were discussing on Discord. So we don't know what these changes are, but they're substantial enough that they're prepping us for it. So I don't think it's anything minor. like a small cosmetic change or something. I think it's something that is somewhat substantial, but not as crazy as a lot of the discussion that was on our Discord channel. So if you want to join in on discussion, come to the Discord channel, and we have some pretty lively discussions about that.
We want you to know that changes to our vehicle design are taken very seriously and only made if they require significantly less capital, including research and development and tooling costs. A production plan that requires less capital reduces risks for our shareholders and allows Aptera to get to market more quickly.
So I think whatever change they've made is a change that they decided is going to make the vehicle faster to market and cheaper to market. So it's a design change that they did both for time and for capital efficiency. So that's the reason. And they said, they don't like to make changes. They take them very seriously. But this is one that they decided to make for that reason. So it's some change that helps them get to market faster and cheaper.
Data supply agreements are inked, we will share more information. Lastly, like many companies in the past couple of years, Aptera's had to adapt to market.
And I know you guys are going to want me to ask them what that is, but it's very clear that they're not able to tell us what it is until it's finalized. And if they could tell us what it is, they would, but they're not going to be able to tell us what it is. So if I ask them, what is this design change that's coming up, they're not going to be able to tell us right now.
Market conditions and make difficult decisions to keep Aptera financially healthy, such as reducing expenses and saying goodbye to some of our beloved and passionate team members along the way.
Okay, so this is this is kind of a shout out to the Aptera team members that are no longer with them.
We're incredibly grateful for everyone who has been a part of our mission, including those whose journeys have taken them elsewhere. Each individual has made meaningful contributions to Aptera, helping us push boundaries and strive for excellence.
Yeah, so I think it's a little sad because a lot of these people are people that we've seen over the past several years that worked for Aptera, and most of the people that the engineers that we've seen and talked to on our channel and seen through their videos are no longer with Aptera. And this is obviously for capital efficiency. They're trying to run a leanest operation as possible. And there does tend to be a lot of churn in startups. But I thought I'd go over a few of the people that we know have left Aptera. And it's a much larger number than this. But these are the ones that kind of stuck out because they're in their videos. Like Matt Bachman was their lead engineer, and he's no longer with them. Luke, remember, he was the guy that was running their battery team in this Maker, when they had the Maker series. He is no longer with them as well. This is Brian. He was their chassis engineering lead. He was in one of their Maker series, and he's not with them anymore. And then this is Greg, and Greg was one of their composite leads. And then Anusha was another one of the people working in the body on the composite. And I think when they moved over to the CPC group, they didn't need those engineering expertise anymore. And then this is Anuj Thacker. He was their solar engineer, and he's no longer with them. And he's in a lot of the patents that they have about the solar panels. You see his name here and here and here and here. So a lot of work all these people did a lot of work for Aptera, and I think it was very nice for Steve to kind of give them a shout out and let them know. Also, do you guys remember Charles Knab? He was the guy designing the wheel pants. Remember, they were really wobbly at first when Jay Leno first drove them, and I went down and talked to him, and he explained how they were making the wheel pants stiffer and better. And then there was Daniel. Daniel was in charge of their cooling system, and I talked to him a couple of times, both at Fully Charged and when I visited the thing. So a lot of these guys I've met personally. They seem like really nice, very smart, great young people, and I hope they're all doing really well wherever they ended up. But yeah, they were all integral part of what Aptera did, and they made a lot of contributions to the current design of the Aptera. And I thought it was very nice for Steve to kind of give them a shout out.
We extend our heartfelt thanks to all of those who supported us along this journey, and we remain committed to our vision of creating a sustainable future through innovation and dedication.
And of course, we all, as a community, wish all of these guys and the other people that I didn't mention great things in life as they go forward. And hopefully they can be proud of what contributions they made to Aptera while they were there. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Let me know your comments below. I read every single one of them.